Aani herself ventured into the forest, dragging and positioning the dummies, her heart pounding with every snap of a twig. That night, the bandits arrived. Seeing what looked like an army of warriors waiting for them, they panicked and fled, leaving the village untouched. When the real villagers emerged to look at Aani's handiwork, they burst into cheers and tears of gratitude. Aani, who had once been afraid of her own shadow, had saved them all not with strength or weapons, but with her courage and cleverness. From that day on, the village never saw her as timid Aani again, and for the first time in her life, neither did she. There was once a quiet village nestled among rolling hills and thick forests. Life was simple, and the people were content, but no one spoke more softly or worked harder to avoid attention than Aani. Aani, the seamstress, lived alone on the far edge of the village. Her days were spent stitching fabric, gazing out her tiny window, and listening to the birds. But Aani carried a heavy burden. She was terrified of almost everything. Stinging bees, barking dogs, the loud arguments of passing traders, everything made her heart race. Other villagers often dismissed her as just a fearful, fragile woman. What they didn't know, and what Aani refused to admit even to herself, was that she longed to be braver. She envied the bold warriors who protected the village and dreamed quietly of being more than her fear allowed. That opportunity came, unexpectedly, one fateful evening. It started with whispers, wind carrying eerie sounds from deep within the forest. By twilight, scouts returned with grim news. A band of bandits, ruthless and armed, was preparing to raid the village. The headman called an urgent gathering, and fear rippled through the crowd. The villagers discussed barricades, hiding places, and ways to plead for mercy, but it was clear no one knew what to do. As the dread thickened, Aani stood silently at the back of the crowd. She wanted to slip away unnoticed, as she always did, but a voice kept ringing in her heart. Do something.